In this video, I'll show you how to use one of those pre-made templates because there's a lot of those that you can use inside of Photoshop. And actually, if you have an Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, you can use the stock services and the assets with Adobe because they have a lot of these templates in there that you can find and bring into Photoshop and use. So let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. So I went ahead and opened up this image baby.jpg. It's included in the source files. So if you want to follow along, you're going to need to use that image and I'll show you how to pull that in. But we're going to go ahead and create a new document again, only this time instead of using a blank document, we're going to use one of the templates. So let's click on photo and we can go down and pick one of these pre-made templates that we see fit. So you can see there's all kinds of really cool things going on here. And again, you can download more of these by going to Adobe Stock. You can actually punch in templates right here, hit go. It'll open up the Adobe Creative Cloud service and go through the stock and you can find those templates and bring those in. But we'll just pick a basic one here, maybe the vintage instant film effects template. So we can just click on that and it'll give you a little bit of information about it. It's by Collective Offset, which is the person or the brand. An instant film layout you can use to create textured Polaroid style effects with your own images. And then it tells you a little bit about the size, the textures, and that use smart objects. Photos shown in the preview are for display only, are not included in the file. And it says it's free and we can see a preview, but let's just go ahead and hit download. And it says the template is over 100 megabytes. Large templates will take longer to download. You can still preview while this template is downloading. And we can say don't show again, that's fine, and hit continue. Now what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and download this template for us, and then we will have access to it inside of our library. It will actually keep a copy of this in our library so that we can pull it up whenever we need to. So I'm going to go ahead and let that download, and then we'll take a look at it once it's ready to be opened. Okay, so now that that file is done downloading, we can see there's a check mark there, and instead of saying download, it says open. So let's go ahead and hit that open button, and it'll bring that template into Photoshop. And we can see a couple things here. There's some layers going on at the bottom, and then we can see that it says Untitled 1 at the top at the name, so it shows us the name and your photo here. So we'll need to do some things to get this to work, but I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's go over and click on Windows and go down to Libraries. Now we closed this earlier because we don't really need it right now, but I do want to show you that once you do add in something, it'll bring it into your library that you can use over and over again. So it's not showing anything right here under the assets, but if I click on this drop down and I go to stock templates, because we downloaded this, we have access to that template at any time. We can come back and bring that in. I just want to show you there's a quick way to get to it right there instead of having to go through that process over and over again. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and close that panel out. And then just to show you how these templates work, they all are a little different and you'll have to mess around or look at the documentation to see how they work. But for this one, for instance, we have multiple layers here. So we have a film frame, which is that background. Then we have some texture options, some light options, one that says your photo here, and then a background option, so whatever background that we would want. So this is saying your photo here, and basically what we need to do is we need to drop our photo into this layer. This is actually a smart layer. So to do that, we just want to double click on this image right here to the left, not the black and white one, but the smart layer to the left of that. We're going to double click on that. It's going to open it up. And this is where our image goes. This is a placeholder. And after we place our photo, we need to save this out. So let's bring in a photo. And we are going to select the baby photo here. Now, if I hover over, you can see it's a JPG file. It's 2.5 megabytes and it's very large. It's a 4,905 by 3,679 pixel image. So go ahead and select that and hit open. It's going to bring that image into Photoshop for us, and now we need to get it from here over to this other tab here. There's a couple different ways that we can do it, but the easiest way is to just drag the layer. So we're going to go to the Layers panel. It's going to turn into a hand. We're going to left click and drag, and now we have that layer. We're holding on to the mouse button so that we can drag it around. If I let go, it'll let go of it. So make sure that you're holding that down. Keep holding it. Go up to that tab and then drop it, and it'll place that into this actual area for us. So as you can see, it created a new layer with that image. We see the placeholder. However, it's not completely filling up the image because we can see some gray at the bottom. We can take this layer and move it around, and we can see some more of that image. However, it is not the biggest width and height to cover everything. So let's just scale that up a little bit. Let's go to Edit. We're going to go Transform, and we're going to click on Scale. And we're going to grab these handles in the corner, and we are going to scale this up. Now, it will stretch and squash, and we don't want that. So let's hold Shift, and it will actually confine the aspect ratio so that it doesn't stretch and squash. And we can just get it to fill up the top, and we'll get it to fill up the bottom, and then we can move it left or right to whatever looks good. I think that's pretty good. We'll hit Enter to save that, actual scale. But now we want to save this smart layer. This is called a .psb file. We'll talk more about these later on, but I just want to show you how these templates work. So let's go ahead and save this. If I just hold down Control or Command on Mac OS and hit S, it saves that file out. We can see it's thinking. And now when I go back to the original file that we were working on, there is our image. And what's happening is it's using a smart layer. It's pulling information from this PSB file and using the rest of these layers and settings to create this look. And there we have that template. And this is how pretty much all the templates work. Some are a little different than others, but it gives you a great, easy way to make some awesome looking designs for your portfolio or for your work. So that is how you use templates inside of Photoshop.